In exploring the spending habits of the less affluent, it's crucial to recognize the complex and often challenging circumstances that dictate their financial decisions. The gap in understanding between the wealthy and the poor is not just about the amount of money they possess, but also in the very nature of their daily experiences and constraints. This list delves into 20 items or services on which the poor might spend their money, choices that might seem perplexing or even illogical to those from a wealthier background. These items, often viewed through a lens of immediate need and survival, reflect the harsh realities and limited options available to those living in poverty. By shedding light on these choices, we aim to foster a deeper understanding and empathy towards the diverse economic realities people face, and why certain spending decisions, though seemingly imprudent, are often the most practical or only choices available under constrained circumstances. Payday loans. The poor often resort to payday loans due to lack of access to traditional banking services and credit. These loans provide immediate cash, which is crucial in emergencies like medical bills or urgent home repairs. The extremely high interest rates can trap borrowers in a cycle of debt. Wealthy individuals might not understand this choice, as they have better access to low-interest credit options. Lottery tickets. Buying lottery tickets is often criticized as a poor financial decision, but for many low-income individuals, it represents a glimmer of hope to escape poverty. The entertainment value and the dream of a big win can provide temporary relief from daily financial stress. This habit is difficult to understand for the wealthy, who see it as an irrational gamble. Yet, in the absence of realistic opportunities for significant financial improvement, it becomes a form of escapism. Rent-to-own services. Rent-to-own agreements allow individuals to obtain necessary household items immediately without large upfront payments. While ultimately more costly, this option is appealing when saving for big purchases isn't feasible. Wealthy individuals might view this as financially imprudent due to the long-term costs. For those without savings, this is often the only way to acquire essential appliances or furniture. Fast food. Fast food is a convenient option for those with limited time and resources, especially in food deserts where healthier options are scarce. It's also appealing because it requires no cooking or cleanup, which is beneficial for those working multiple jobs or lacking adequate kitchen facilities. While perceived as an unhealthy and more expensive food choice, it's often one of the few accessible options for the poor. The wealthy might not grasp the convenience factor over health and cost considerations. Prepaid cell phones. Prepaid cell phones offer flexibility and control over monthly expenses, crucial for individuals managing tight budgets. They require no credit check, appealing to those with poor or no credit history. Although more expensive in the long run, they offer a level of accessibility that contract phones don't. Wealthy individuals might see this as an inefficient choice, not considering the barriers to obtaining a contract phone. Cheap clothing or footwear. Cheap clothing and footwear might not last long, requiring frequent replacement, but it's often the only affordable option for those with very limited budgets. This choice is driven by immediate need rather than long-term economy. Wealthy individuals might view this as false economy, not understanding the upfront cost barrier for higher quality items. The inability to invest in durable goods is a common constraint for the poor. Cigarettes and alcohol. For many in stressful financial situations, cigarettes and alcohol serve as a temporary escape or stress relief. This habit can be hard to break, especially in communities where it's a social norm. The long-term financial and health costs are significant, but the immediate relief often takes precedence. Wealthy individuals might see this as a harmful and costly habit, not fully appreciating the underlying stress factors. Extended warranties. Extended warranties are often purchased for peace of mind, especially when replacing the item would be financially impossible. They are seen as a safeguard against future expenses, despite their often high cost. To someone wealthy, this might seem like an unnecessary expense, but for those with limited means, it's a form of financial protection. The fear of unexpected costs drives this decision, rather than pure financial logic. High-interest credit cards. High-interest credit cards are often the only credit option available to low-income individuals. They provide a necessary financial buffer, albeit at a high cost. Wealthy individuals might not understand the reliance on such costly credit options, given their access to better terms. The lack of access to affordable credit forces the poor into these high-interest options. Older used cars. Older used cars are more affordable upfront, but come with higher maintenance and repair costs. For many low-income individuals, this is the only viable option for personal transportation. Wealthy individuals might see this as a poor investment, not understanding the upfront cost constraints. The necessity of personal transportation, especially in areas with poor public transit, drives this choice. Energy drinks and coffee. Energy drinks and coffee can be essential for those working long hours or multiple jobs to stay alert and productive. While seemingly a luxury, they are often a practical necessity for maintaining the energy needed to sustain long workdays. The wealthy might view this as an avoidable expense, not considering the extreme work conditions some endure. For the poor, this expense is justified by the need to maintain a certain level of work performance. Cable TV subscriptions. Cable TV provides accessible entertainment and a form of relaxation for those who cannot afford other forms of leisure. It can be a primary source of affordable in-home entertainment, especially where other options are limited. Wealthy individuals might see this as an unnecessary luxury, not realizing the limited leisure options available to the poor. This expense is justified by the value it provides in terms of relaxation and mental escape. Instant loans for small amounts. Instant loans for small amounts are often utilized for urgent financial needs, despite their high fees. This option is a last resort when faced with immediate financial crises like utility bills or rent payments. Wealthy individuals might see these loans as imprudent due to the high fees, but for the poor, they can be the difference between stability and a crisis. The urgency of the need overshadows the cost of the loan. Bank overdraft fees. Bank overdraft fees are often incurred unintentionally due to tight financial balancing. These fees, while costly, sometimes are the lesser evil compared to other financial penalties or missed payments. Wealthy individuals might view these fees as easily avoidable, not understanding the constant juggling of limited funds. The lack of a financial cushion makes overdrafts a common, albeit costly, occurrence. Non-bank financial services. Non-bank financial services like check cashing are more expensive, but are essential for those without bank accounts. These services provide immediate access to funds, crucial for day-to-day survival. The wealthy might not understand the reliance on such services, given the widespread availability of banking to them. The barriers to traditional banking, such as minimum balance requirements or past financial issues, make these services a necessity for some. Short-term rentals. Short-term rentals are often the only option for those who cannot afford the deposits and credit checks required for long-term leases. Although more expensive in the long run, they provide immediate housing solutions without long-term commitments. Wealthy individuals might view this as inefficient, not considering the barriers to securing long-term housing. The flexibility and lack of upfront costs make short-term rentals appealing despite the higher cost. Prepaid credit cards. Prepaid credit cards allow those without bank accounts to participate in the digital economy, making online purchases and bill payments possible. Although they come with higher fees, they offer financial inclusivity. Wealthy individuals might see this as an inefficient financial tool, not understanding the exclusion from traditional banking. These cards provide a crucial bridge to services that require digital payments. Convenience store groceries. Convenience store groceries are often more expensive, but they might be the only accessible option in some urban and rural areas. These stores provide immediate access to food, especially in food deserts where supermarkets are not available. Wealthy individuals might view this as a poor shopping choice, not understanding the lack of access to affordable grocery options. The convenience and accessibility outweigh the cost consideration for many. Minimal health insurance. Minimal health insurance often covers very little, but is chosen due to being the only affordable option. This insurance provides a safety net, albeit limited, against catastrophic health expenses. Wealthy individuals might not understand the choice of minimal coverage, having access to comprehensive health plans. The decision is driven more by financial constraints than by the desire for adequate healthcare coverage. Pawn shop transactions. Pawn shops provide quick cash in emergencies, even though it means losing valuable items or facing high interest to reclaim them. This option is often utilized when immediate cash is more crucial than the long-term loss of assets. To the wealthy, this might seem like a poor financial decision, but it's a last resort for immediate financial needs. The urgency of the need often outweighs the financial loss in such transactions. In conclusion, the spending habits of the poor often reflect not just economic choices, but also the realities of their daily lives and the limited options available to them. While from a wealthier perspective, these expenditures on items like payday loans, lottery tickets, rent-to-own services, and fast food might seem imprudent or inefficient, they are often the most viable, or sometimes the only choices available for those living in poverty. These 20 items highlight the stark contrast in financial decision-making that arises from differing economic circumstances. For the wealthy, who have access to a wide range of financial resources and services, the choices made by the poor might seem hard to understand. However, it's crucial to recognize that these decisions are often made out of necessity, rather than choice. They are pragmatic responses to the challenges of living with limited financial means, where immediate needs and short-term survival often take precedence over long-term financial planning.